What is up, everyone? I'm Seth from the Detail Doc. We are working on this brand new Ford Mustang GT500, and it is a PPF nightmare. So our customer came to us with a lot of complaints and really upset with the paint protection film he had applied to his brand new Mustang. He had a shop from out of town come in and do the PPF on his car, and a lot of the panels are failing, they're lifting, and a lot of it's going to need to be replaced. You can see the paint protection film is starting to lift up in this corner right here. Maybe there's too much tension or too much stress on this corner, and it just pops back off. And this paint protection film is fairly fresh. It's not like it's been sitting on for a long time and eventually just popped up. It probably popped up the next day, just right after. And it's just so poor seeing a car like this, you know, with this type of paint protection film. We're gonna have to remove and replace a lot of these pieces. Then we move on to the front main part of the bumper. You can see these corners here are starting to lift up and have really big fingers and excess film. The other side of the bumper is doing the same exact thing, where the film is just lifting up and it doesn't look good. You can see this from a mile away. And then we move on to even the gloss black piece here. You can see all sorts of dirt, dust, sand, and hairs all over the film, and it has really poor fitment as well. It's just a shame. And then we're moving right to the fenders here. This is what's most upsetting for me. You can see the enormous gap of the film. None of this fender is tucked, and there's an 1/8 inch gap, 1/2 inch gap, 1/4 inch gap, all throughout the entire fender. This entire edge of the fender here, not even protected. There's like a 1/4 inch gap, 1/2 inch gap right there on the top of the fender. This bottom edge of the fender is not wrapped. This back edge of the fender is not wrapped. And this fender looks really eye-soring when you see the gap of all the PPF that's not even protecting the edges of the panel. Yeah, so this customer is bringing it to us to do a full paint protection film removal, and we're gonna replace it and add even more PPF to more of his car to add even more protection. Situations like this are always kind of, you know, frustrating and irritating, but they do happen. The biggest lesson to take away here is to really understand, you know, what the expectation is that your PPF shop is setting with you. You know, is this gonna be wrapped? Is it gonna be tucked? You know, should this corner have some issues? You know, you don't want to talk to them. And most importantly, definitely get a reputable and well-known shop to be working on your vehicle, to stand behind your work. But in this case, we're going to be working on this car to make it right. that we're done taking off all the old PPF, we're gonna put our PPF on the car. We're also gonna put PPF on areas that were missed by the previous installer while adding more paint protection film to areas such as the rocker panels, the bottom of the doors, around the windshield, and the rear quarter panels. Unlike the old paint protection film, we're going to modify our PPF patterns so we get really good coverage and really good fitment on all of our panels to look really clean and seamless when we're done. When installing paint protection film, it's very important to squeegee all of the moisture and air thoroughly, so you don't leave anything behind and underneath the film, which is going to lead to having air bubbles and pockets underneath the film. We're also going to let every edge dry out and then tuck all the edges of this hood so we get a really nice appearance. So when installing paint protection film, you have to work really thoroughly and really cleanly so you don't get any dirt, debris, dust, or hair underneath the film, such as these gloss black areas show contamination really easily. With paint protection film, you really want to set it on there and get it on as soon as possible. You don't want to lift it up and get contamination underneath the film. Another really big aspect of our paint protection film and how it stays clean is our dedicated clean room. It's going to keep dust low and reduce the amount of contamination that's possible to get underneath the film. Now we are done installing and tucking all of our paint protection film. We double checked all of our work to make sure that the fitment is spot on and it's free of any contamination. We had the Shelby GT500 here a week and a half later after we installed all the paint protection film, just to do our inspection to make sure all of our film is settled down and cured properly. Unlike the old film, all of our film is completely settled down. There's no lifting or failing spots on any of the film. The fitment is nearly perfect and looks invisible. It's free of any hair, dust, or debris, and it looks just as if we did it yesterday. So if you guys like videos just like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.